Hey everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me for part 2 of Ariana Taylor's Mystery Mystic Musings disappearance reading. And we're going to continue on. I actually had to break this up into 2 parts because the video got rather long and I ended up having a sound issue right at the 20-minute mark of the Tarot and Oracle reading. The reading, that part ended up being like, I don't know, like 37 minutes or something like that. And at the 20-minute mark, the sound just cut off. And so I had already shuffled the cards. You all know I use what's called jumping cards, the cards that jump out of the deck. So in this video, you're going to see most of the cards laid out up until the 20-minute mark. And then I picked back up when I realized there was an issue with the sound and continue forward. And I revealed to you what cards had jumped for her reading. This is a difficult one to digest, and I hope you all keep the comments respectful and respectful for Ariana as well as for her family. All right, let's get to part 2. Guys, my mic had cut out. I didn't realize it until I did the replay of this video, so I had to come back here and pick up where it left off. So this is to the question of what happened following the accident. What happened following the accident? And the Two of Swords in reverse jumped. This is speaking to, they didn't know. They were kind of like, and I'm saying they, there's multiple parties involved. They were not sure of how to move next. Two of Swords. It was really like they were like having to take steps blindly and not know what to do next and what the right move to do next. This is not someone who normally does these type of things. I've done readings in the past where you can tell that this career criminal, someone who is really good at this because they've done this before. This is someone who is new to this. Hired help was interesting to me that it jumped because it's speaking to that this was someone who also had a hand in it. Someone said, I need you to do this for me. I need you to help me in this. Help me to deal with this situation with Ariana. And then we got signs and human trafficking and then colorless angel. So what I'm sensing here is that human trafficking is meaning that she may have been taken against her will or forced into something that she was not comfortable dealing with or doing. And as a result, it led to what has happened thus far to her. That, you know, sometimes when you see human trafficking, sometimes the situation is someone enters into it willingly, but oftentimes they don't. And oftentimes this card doesn't come up when it's actual human trafficking. It actually comes up when someone is being taken against their will. And that's what I'm picking up on here. The signs card is speaking to them wanting to leave signs that she may have been human trafficked. That, okay, we could make it seem like she was taken against her will, or that, you know, she was taken, and that anything that came of that, that's because, you know, the human trafficker was the cause. However, that's not going to cut it, because when she is finally found, you know, it's going to be like, well, wait a minute, I don't know about that. So then it's going to come to be, oh, well, maybe she did this to herself. Maybe she consumed something. I'm going to tell you guys why I say that in a moment, because of the cards that had jumped since I did this reading leads me to believe what I'm about to say here. And now it makes this all more clear They're going to be like, oh, well, she consumed something like a drug or some sort of, drug, alcohol, something that made her drive and crash, and then she wandered off into the water. And that's what caused her demise. But we need to be careful of that, because the hired help card indicates that this all happened because of someone else, not because of her. I've done readings before. Like one particular one I'm thinking of is the Tommy Howe case, where it came up in the reading. There's no one else involved here. There's no foul play here. But in this case, there is foul play. I'm sensing strongly that there will be signs left by them, signs left by the hired help, because they're inexperienced. They don't know exactly what they're doing. Okay, and colorless angel speaks to the condition that she may have been left in. Colorless angel could mean that she may have crossed over. It also could speak to this person has no feelings. They are heartless who did this. So this is a dual kind of message card meaning. Okay, they are heartless who did this, who had a hand, who was hired, and it doesn't necessarily mean like there was an exchange of money. It could mean the hired help, could totally mean that, but it literally also could mean, I need your help. I need you to do this. You need to do this for me. I need you to help me with taking her, dealing with this situation, driving her car, crashing it, doing this because this situation has happened. But she was hurt before that whole accident took place, okay? So then we have the next question, which is question number 5, which was who or what is responsible for her missing, for her disappearance. We got the card that jumped was the lovers in reverse. Lost jumped. Police jumped as well. Lake, more water, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Social media, I'm going to put this here because that's how it was when I first did the reading. And fated to suffer. Okay, so this is dealing with someone else. The lovers with the 2 people in this. This is also speaking to a love situation gone bad with this lovers in reverse. The clues about who these people are, what may have happened, what may have led to this moment is found in her social media. So it's going to take some time to go deep and figure out what may have happened with the lake card. More water. I'm suspecting that water is going to definitely play a factor or a role in either what may have happened to her ultimately or where she may be at ultimately. Okay. But it doesn't necessarily mean it was the cause of her passing. And I'll speak on that in a moment because now I know what cards have already jumped. Stupid mic issue. Next week when I do these readings, it's not going to be like that because I'm going to have a new adapter. So anyways, fated to suffer. This person wanted her to suffer. Lost. This lover situation caused her, this bad lover situation caused her to become missing, to become lost, to not be found. But the police are ultimately going to come get to the bottom of things, or at least get to the bottom of things enough to understand that this is not something that is just, oh, she had a car accident, she wandered off into the water, and that's what caused her demise. It's going to be more than that. Someone wanted her to suffer because they felt like they were suffering with this fated to suffer card. They felt like they were suffering, so therefore she needs to suffer. And it's something dealing with an intimate relationship that has gone bad with the lovers in reverse. And the clues are in social media. Lake is speaking to the depth and gravity of the situation, but it also could speak to the physical locale where she either may be at or where important clues may be at. Lake doesn't necessarily mean a lake. It can mean a body of water, or it could be, figuratively speaking, deep emotions. someone with deep emotions, someone who is deeply emotionally connected to her or this situation, and they wanted her to suffer, okay? And not only that, I'm going to tell you, we'll get to that in a moment. We'll get to it in a moment. Let me not get ahead of myself. So then I asked the question of, is there any clues about who, like multiple people who may have been involved? What are some clues, some physical attributes of these persons who may be involved? We got dimples or cleft chin, friendly demeanor, walking abnormality. So this person is friendly to Ariana. Could have been even someone her friends or like close friends knew, or friends or family knew. Friendly. Someone who might be brown skinned, similar to my skin tone, with this friendly demeanor card. Someone who has deep dimples, deep cleft chin. Not just little dimples, but I'm talking about deep dimples, noticeable dimples, or noticeable cleft chin, or both. And walking abnormality is someone who either is pigeon-toed or knock-kneed or bow-legged, or has a limp, or there's something kind of off about their gait, how they move, how they walk. That is some clues about physical attributes of someone who may have had a hand in this. Now, of course, if she was the only person involved, I don't sense that she is, with all these kind of pairings telling me that there's more than one person involved here. But let's say it was. If she has a limp or walks pigeon-toed, or, what have you, it could be her. But I don't know. I don't know if she even has dimples. I don't think she does, based on the pictures I've seen. Then I asked Spirit, who is behind the text messages that were sent to her mom? Because her mom mentioned that she was receiving text messages. And we got the Knight of Pentacles. That was the card that jumped. Photos. And dark hair color. This is someone who's sending these messages. Is someone who Ariana knew and trusted. And they're now not only causing suffering to Ariana, but they want to cause suffering to her loved ones, and particularly her mother, in the most cruelest of ways, with this colorless angel and this fated to suffer card. The Pentacles is about trust, and the Knights are about moving forward. This was a relationship that was a trustworthy relationship that was progressing slowly but surely, but nevertheless progressing. Someone that Ariana trusted. And this person probably confirmed who her mother was in her phone contacts with these photos. Because it's not rocket science to probably find who the mom or dad is in your phone, because you might classify them as mom. Versus, like, if it's a girlfriend, you might say Lisa, right? And you don't know if Lisa is a cousin or a friend. But mom is typically, or, mommy or mom is typically who you're listed in the contact. So that's what I'm picking up on here. Is it someone that she trusted, someone she knew, and someone's kind of cruel, and could be a male with this Knight, going through her photos, confirming who her mom is, someone with dark hair. This braid card indicates to me that it could be her mom, or not her mom, but sorry, I'm getting all ahead of myself. So it could mean that the person who's vengeful in doing this could be someone who likes to wear braids or has braids, whether it's cornrows or they get their hair braided from time to time. So it could lead us to believe that it's a female. It's not someone who customarily dyes their hair. They have a really dark hair color. But this was, again, there would be different cards that would jump if it was something like, someone prank calling or prank texting her mom. No, this is someone that Ariana particularly knew and trusted, who is now betraying that trust and being cruel with fated to suffer with this card. Okay? Because they felt like they suffered, and so now it's someone else's turn to suffer. They have a very sick, warped way of looking at things with this fated to suffer card. Okay, you see it here with this. You see the apple, fated to suffer, poisonous apple here, which brings me to the final cards. So then I ask, you know, what's next? Where are important clues to this situation? What's coming up next? So the card that jumped first was jail. Court then jumped. Poison. Poison had jumped as well. We got ice cream shop and judgment in reverse. So this is telling me that perhaps Ariana has transitioned on to a new state of being. Okay, oh no, you know, and this in reverse is saying that people are going to have a really hard time accepting what has happened. This is also going to be slowed down analysis and judgment of the situation. There's going to be a lot of confusion coming in the coming months surrounding her, you know, disappearance and ultimately what has transpired with her. The judgment represents, you know, the time period of like October 21st to November 20th, which could either speak to her dealing with the situation since then, or it could mean that that's when things are really going to become crystal clear about what may have happened here. But right now, there's going to be a lot of confusion. There's going to be a lot of confusion, a lot of blockages to being able to analyze and judge what really truly happened. But what I am happy to see is that we got the jail card. So at first I got excited when this card jumped, like, oh, well, maybe she's in jail somewhere in another county or state or something like that. Maybe that could be the possibility. But then with the court card, it's speaking to, you know, and the judgment in reverse that someone's going to be brought to justice, or there's going to be some information revealed in court records or court documents that it will lead to an arrest, or just lead to understanding that there is someone who could have been arrested in the past or will be arrested. Court documents, legal things that maybe she was involved in the past, or someone who is close to her involved in, or that this is meaning that it's going to go to trial at some point in the future. And the poison card is important because it's speaking to the fact that she had consumed something that ultimately led to her demise. That it's something, and what's worrisome to me is that it could look like maybe she took drugs and then she wandered off to the water and that's what caused it. It was an accident, blah, blah, blah. But really and truly, it's not an accident. This is not an accident. This was intentional. We've got confirmation with the black magic card, the human trafficking, the hired help, the reverse lovers, the seven of swords, the emperor. There's, to me, with the cards, it's speaking to the con man. It's speaking to someone who's presenting one way, but it's really not like they seem. That this was someone she trusted, but the trust was broken. As we see, she consumed a poisonous situation or literal poison to her body or her mind or her spirit, her life. This person came in and poisoned her entire life and ultimately was the cause of things. Like, they came in sweet and kind. Obviously, the ice cream shop could literally mean maybe this is a landmark nearby, or it could just speak to, just like this apple, sweet, tantalizing. I thought I could trust it, but in the end, it ended up turning on me and poisoning me and harming me and killing me. So that's what I'm picking up on here. But yeah, my heart goes out to her family. This is no doubt difficult, tragic. She has a child. She is a mother. Okay, she's a mother. And it's like this person's or persons who are involved had no consideration for that. And that's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. This wasn't really thought out A lot of confusion, but this was something because someone was leading this and orchestrating this and wanting this to happen to her, and then making it seem like it's one way with the Chariot and Ten of Wands, but really it is something entirely different. And so I pray for her to be found. I pray for justice. No matter what has happened to her, I pray for justice. I pray for peace for her and her family. All right, you all. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Give me your insights, your intuitive hits. And I'm sending you all so much love. Please, please, please take very good care of yourselves. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.